Most changes don't announce themselves. They don't arrive with warnings. They don't come with clear turning points. They happen gradually, until one day, something familiar feels different. People still interact. They still communicate. They still connect. But something about it feels thinner, less natural, less present. And many people notice the shift, but don't know how to explain it. Human interaction has always been shaped by systems, family structures, cultural norms, economic pressures, social expectations. But in the modern world, these systems have changed. They've become more complex, more abstract, and more pervasive. They don't just influence behavior from the outside, they shape how people pay attention, process emotion, and form expectations. And over time, without anyone agreeing to it, the rules of interaction have quietly changed. In the previous episodes, we explored how emotional patterns shape relationships. This is the next layer, because those patterns don't exist in isolation. They are reinforced or limited by the environments people live in. For example, workplaces define how much emotion is appropriate. Digital platforms shape how quickly people respond, and social norms influence what is shared and what is held back. Over time, people adjust, not consciously, but consistently. Modern systems prioritize efficiency, faster communication, shorter interactions, clear outcomes, and measurable results. This improves coordination, but it also changes interaction. Conversations become more direct. Less time is spent exploring nuance. Reflection is shortened. For example, messages replace conversations. Responses become quicker, but shorter. Depth is often replaced by clarity. Efficiency doesn't remove connection, but it reshapes how connection happens. Large systems require predictability, predictable roles, predictable responses, predictable timelines. As systems grow, they need consistency, and consistency reduces variation. So people begin to present themselves in ways that fit: professional, neutral, composed, and manageable. This isn't fake, it's adaptation, but over time, this adaptation becomes automatic. In many environments, emotional expression isn't forbidden, it's just inconvenient. Strong emotion slows things down, ambiguity complicates decisions, vulnerability disrupts flow. So people adjust, they share less spontaneously, choose what to reveal, and control how and when they express. And over time, this doesn't just change behavior, it changes emotional habits. In the past, many interactions were naturally relational. They included shared time, physical presence, and open-ended conversation. Today, many interactions are functional. They have a clear purpose, a defined role, and a limited duration. For example, quick check-ins instead of long conversations, task-based communication instead of open dialogue. Functional interaction works, but it doesn't naturally support emotional depth, so expectations shift. Connection becomes situational instead of continuous. Here's the realization most people miss. It's not that people became less social. Interaction itself was redesigned. Digital systems didn't create this shift, but they accelerated it. Communication became faster, more frequent, and less contextual. Nonverbal cues were reduced. Tone became harder to interpret. Context became limited, so people learned to communicate more, but reveal less. This isn't a flaw in technology. It's a consequence of scale. Empathy depends on complexity. It relies on tone, timing, body language, and emotional context. When interaction is simplified, those signals are reduced, so empathy becomes harder, not because people care less, but because they receive less information. This leads to more misunderstanding, quicker judgment, less emotional nuance. Systems prioritize clarity, but humans require complexity. Over time, people begin to internalize system expectations. They regulate themselves before being asked to. They simplify expression automatically. They compress emotional responses without thinking about it. What begins as adaptation becomes a habit, and people may feel emotionally distant without knowing why. When systems prioritize efficiency over depth, connection changes. People still interact, but under conditions that limit emotional presence. The result is not isolation, it's something more subtle. Thin connection, enough to function, but not enough to feel fully seen. This helps explain why. Conversations feel rushed, vulnerability feels uncomfortable, people feel unseen despite interaction, and emotional fatigue spreads quietly. This is not an individual failure, it's a systemic influence. Awareness doesn't remove the system, but it changes how you relate to it. You begin to notice when interaction is rushed, when expression is limited, and when depth is being replaced by efficiency. And in certain moments, you choose differently. You slow down, stay present, and allow more depth. Not everywhere, but intentionally. As systems reshape interaction, something else shifts quietly alongside it. Empathy changes, not because people become less caring, but because emotional information becomes harder to access. And this leads to the next pattern. Are we becoming less empathetic in modern society? If this reflection resonated, take a moment before moving on. If you value long-form explorations of human behavior, consider liking this video so others can find it. Subscribe for future episodes of Wellnesshubnest, and share below. Where do you notice systems shaping how people interact?